Hi everyone. I will just be doing my usual sharing on socials. Hold on. Hi Jessica. Jessica says, "Oh, you're on chapter 14 and you're also reading Sunrise on the Reaping and you're loving it, but sadly working for another 7 hours." Oh, that sucks. Especially when you just want to read or like you're loving the book that you're reading. Oh my gosh. And I think what could get you through the working day is the thought that you'd get to jump on the book immediately after work. So, hi, Vanessa. Here but lurking, going downstairs to make some pancakes. Oh, good morning, Vanessa. It's an early day for you. And sure thing, I will be here for the next couple of hours. Hi, Louis. Welcome back to the sprint. Louis says, "I hope that I will finish Life After Life by Kate Atkinson within the sprint. It got a bit better because we are now in the World War II era." How far are you in with Life After Life, Louis? If you say you wish to finish it tonight, are you about to, like, are you almost done with the book? Like 80% through? Hold on, just sharing on my socials so more people can join. Done sharing. Link. Hi, Noor. I'm still making coffee, but then I'll read King of Scars by Leigh Bardugo. This is the first book in the series, right? King of wait of Scars. Because like I know there's a second book, or like it's a series. Oh, it's a duology, and I remember this book taking taking the book world by storm when it came out. And how far are you in with the book? Hi, Emma. Welcome to the Spins. I know I was gonna see you right now, and I'm just sharing. Oops, doesn't work like that. Save. Doing some admin tasks for Talk Bookish to Me PH while joining you here. Sure thing. Sounds very productive to me. Once you're done with your admin task, what are you going to be reading? Which I think is your next comment. I'll be reading Dead Balagtas and hoping I could start with Insect Hack for our book of the month, or our book of the month for March, which is No by Name by Chanel Miller. Well, I'm a bit biased, so I will definitely want you to read Know My Name by Chanel Miller. Do you also have the audiobook for Know My Name? Because it's narrated by Chanel Miller and it's just so good. It's even more impactful because it's the author who's reading it. How are you liking Sunrise? Have you started it yet? Yes, but I'm not too far in. Like, I think I'm literally on chapter 2. Like, I just started it this afternoon. So I'm on page 29, the part where the reaping has just wrapped up. Like, literally, they just finished the live stream for the reaping in District 12. Would be I'm still not done sharing. Hold on. Okay. Okay. And I saw that you were like on chapter, what is it? 20? Chapter 14. You're pretty far in because like I'm on just chapter 2. Isn't chapter 14 like you're already in the games, I assume? In the 50th Hunger Games? I think I'm about 80 pages in. This is for King of Scars, but I needed to read some recaps from Six of Crows and Shadow and Bone. There are too many references right in the beginning, but now I'm back in that work. Oh, really? Oh, because it features Nikolai and like the Grisha in general. That makes sense. I actually forgot like that it's part of the Grisha universe, so thank you for reminding me. So I guess it's best to like read the King of Scars duology once you're done with like Shadow and Bone and like the Six of Crows duology, because like I've yet to read Crooked Kingdom. Like I absolutely love Six of Crows, but I've yet to read Crooked Kingdom. I believe perfect. I love it. I only started last night, but I couldn't put it down. We're not in the games just yet. Oh my gosh. Chapter 14? Ooh. Okay, 40% in. That's surprising to me. That's surprising to me because like at the rate that Suzanne Collins is going, like imagine just in chapter 2, the reaping is already done. And like I think I just got used to how fast paced the Hunger Games trilogy was. Like, but at the same time, Suzanne Collins takes her time building the world. But I guess in my head, because like we're already aware of the world building in the Hunger Games trilogy, I was like, okay, maybe it will be more fast paced because like the reaping is already done and chapter 2 isn't even wrapped up yet. So I was like, okay, it's pretty fast paced, but I guess there's still a lot that could happen before the actual games. How quick were we? Yeah, I was also surprised, but like I am liking it so far. Like because like I have been wanting to read Haymitch's story because like there are a lot of references about the 50th Hunger Games, and Haymitch is just like a very interesting character to me because like I know innately he's a good person. It's just that the situation that he's been thrown in, like being the victor, and like being the victor in the games where the amount of tributes are doubled. It's like there's got to be trauma there for sure. And to get him to the point where he's an alcoholic, like there's just so much to unpack with this man. And I'm just happy that we finally got the story. Hi, Eliza. Welcome back to the sprint. How are you doing? Like, have you been feeling better lately? How is school? Are you going to be reading tonight? Are you just going to be chilling? Nor says, yes, definitely. Wouldn't recommend to start King of Scars without the other series because it takes place after Crooked Kingdom. So there are big spoilers for it, but also for Shadow and Bone. Okay, so here's the thing, Nor. I didn't like Shadow and Bone. Thus, me jumping to Six of Crows. So I was like, I don't think I can go back to the Shadow and Bone series because like I just didn't like it, but absolutely loved Six of Crows. Hi Laura, just popping by to say hi. Got a packed day, but want to send my love and hugs and boop the like, of course. Thank you so much, and I hope you get everything done today in your packed scheduled day, and I'll see you next time. Same. I wanted Hamish and Mag's stories the most. How about Finnick as well? Like, because I know Finnick also has like such a very interesting story. Him and the other tribute that I forgot her name. But like, I can picture the actress in my head, the one who got naked inside the elevator. I forgot her name, but she's like just a very strong character and a character that you want to hate, but you also want to love. I forgot her name, but like I could picture her in my head playing Among Us and they read soon. I know there's gotta be updates on the maps in Among Us. I remember playing this during the pandemic with other people and absolutely enjoyed it, but I cannot lie, like to save my life. So whenever I'm the imposter, I find it hard to like pretend because like I have to know like where everyone is and like lie where I am when I'm using the vents or whatever. I hope you're enjoying Among Us. Not the opposite. I like Shadow and Bone and strongly disdain Six of Crows. Oh no, why? Oh my gosh. Yes, Finnick. Because like I know Finnick was like used a lot by the capital because like, he's hot and all, and he has also like a very tragic love story that people like to talk about and all. So I just know, like, even if it's like not a full on story, even if it's just like a novella, I would eat that shit up for sure. I think many people didn't like Shadow and Bone that much, but I actually really enjoyed it. I think because it reminded me of stories I read as a teenager. That's good to hear. And I think this all boils down to like, again, reading being subjective and like maybe if I reread Shadow and Bone, maybe I will like it this time because like it could just be a matter of like timing as well, whether I wasn't in the mood for a fantasy story when I was reading it. So I digress. But I also found Leigh Bardugo's writing style very bingeable. Yes. Um, there's that. I also wanted to read Ninth House because it's all by Leigh Bardugo, and isn't that a standalone? I have to check. Ninth House. It's a dark academia book, right? Am I right? Is it? Oh, it's not. I think it's a fantasy one. Wait, I think it is. Is it? Anyway, so it's never mind. It's not a standalone. You know what? I can't even keep up with like series anymore because like by the time that they're out, it's still back on my TBR. Like it's still at the back burner in my TBR. So I really cannot keep up anymore. Lighthouse is a series. Yeah, I saw. It's the one with the snake as well. So it's called Hellbent. And it's been out 2023. Oh my gosh. My TBR just keeps getting long, honestly. And it's so hard to keep up because like when you're reading a backlist title, I don't know, like 50 more books are out by the time you finish one. So yeah. Also haven't read Ninth House yet. Thanks to me watching booktube videos and following lots of bookstore pages in Facebook, I kind of kept up with what's out there. That's good. Because, like, as much as like I follow creators who, share new releases and the books that they're reading, with the way it's going, like how fast a day goes by, it's so hard for me to keep up, especially with like me having multiple interests and hobbies. It's so hard to keep up because like, okay, I gotta keep up with like the new games that are out, I gotta keep up with the new books that are gonna be out, and then movies and TV shows that are very interesting and I would like to watch, new anime, new manga. So it's just that's me. That's me on a daily. And I also have like to juggle being an adult, like in working world. Again, I digress. So maybe we should start reading and doing sprint number 1. So again, for for all of you, well, at least for the ones that are here, they already know how um, these things go, at least for sprints. So anyway, I would introduce the sprints anyway. So I will be doing 4 sprints tonight or today, and each sprint will have 40 minutes each. And then once the timer pops out, pops off, we will have 8 minutes of chatting, and then we move to the next 3 sprints. Is everyone ready? Again, I will be reading Sunrise on the Reaping, and I'm on chapter 2, and I'm just so excited to read more, but also scared at the same time. So I'll see you in 40 minutes, everyone. Happy reading or doing tasks, work, etc. Hello, everyone. How was sprint number one? How was sprint number one for everyone? So for me, I got to wait. Pages. I got to chapter 3 of the book, and I'm now at page 44. And I guess to avoid saying spoilers about the book, um, it's it features the same formula in terms of the cruelty that the capital has for all the districts. And I think the beauty of like why the Hunger Games worked before is that regardless if like you're from the poorer districts or like regardless if you have power like within the district. So we know that even though you're a mayor in District 12, it means nothing if the capital wants something. The capital wants you punished, it will be done. And that fact still remains in Sunrise on the Reaping. So it's still just as cruel. And I'm not on the games yet because like we're still in the aftermath of the reaping. And I am still very much liking it. I'm just on page 44, but I think I really miss the feeling of reading a Hunger Games material for the very first time because like I've read the 4 books. Like the original trilogy I've read like 3 times already, and then Ballad of Songbirds I've read twice. So there's that nostalgic feeling of like reading a Hunger Games book for the first time again. And now that I'm a full on adult, that I'm doing that versus like when I read the Hunger Games trilogy, I was still in college, like back in 2011 or 2012. So that was so long ago. And yeah, how is everyone else's reading? Nor says that's the trouble of a reader. You can never keep up with all the releases. Yeah, especially the good ones. Sometimes I miss out on a good release, mostly because like one, it's not as promoted or it's not as read or rated by other people. This is why like I follow people that I trust in terms of like what they read, if our tastes in books align, if I trust their reviews and stuff. Louis says my interests are mainly just mainly music, books, and a bit of pro wrestling and wrestling entertainment. Speaking of wrestling and pro wrestling, so there's this booth in the Philippine Book Festival. So they make comics, and one of them, like we were able to talk to the artist of the comic book, and it features like local wrestlers, like pro wrestlers, and there were some familiar names there because like I know someone who actually founded the local. Wait, let me check the name. No, but I will check the name later. Emma says, I'm almost done with Dead Balagtas. How are you liking it so far? Emma? And how short is it? I think it's like it's the one with the bigger book, but it's kind of thin, right? Mm, Grabe, this graphic novel has a lot of things to unpack. There are a lot of topics that the author covers. And I think it makes sense since like the author is also pretty famous. Like I haven't read a Dead Balagtas book, but I have heard of it for years now. So maybe this is the sign to finally read one. I read about 20 pages, but I was also eating something, so I was a bit slower than usual. You know what? That's still fast because like I started at page 29 and I only got to like page 44. So that's roughly um 15 pages. So usually it's the first sprint that I'm kind of distracted. So like hopefully with the second to fourth sprint I'd be able to read some more. What I really love is how she points political awareness and at the same time gives you kilig. The gay heart in me is so very happy. So kilig, at least for the English speakers in our chat, kilig is more of like that butterfly in your stomach feeling. Because like there's no direct translation to kilig. Wait, political awareness. Yeah, I know. Emiliana Campilan is also pretty known for um, having politics at the foreground of her books, and that's why she's um, gained a following. Oh, but Eman, is the writing and the language accessible? Like, is can it be recommended to people who like aren't into or are not used to? Is that right? Words used to deeper Filipino, if you know what I mean, like the deeper Tagalog. Like I can, but there are just some who find it hard to read when there are deeper Filipino words or phrases like that. So is it accessible? Should I read a fantasy or a thriller? This all boils down to your mood, but I will pick thriller. Because what are your two choices, Eliza? What are the two books that you're thinking of? Wait, I think you did. Did you share your? No, you didn't share your choices yet. Also, also mostly more distracted in the beginning of books when I'm still under 100 pages. So is it safe to say that King of Scars takes a while to build up? Like, if it's not capturing you right now? And are you just reading with your eyes, or are you also listening to the audiobook of King of Scars? And speaking of audiobook, I actually took note of that. Like, when I was reading Sunrise earlier, like, I put down, like, I am curious about the audiobook for this one. Like, how is that gonna be? Like, I wonder how the narration would go. Like, are they gonna match it with how what's the name of the actor for Haymitch? Woody Harrelson? Like, would they pick someone? Oh wait, no, because it's like 16 years old. So Haymitch here is 16. So okay, got that. So yeah, very curious about the audiobook for this one. So that's just a random thought. Before we move to our second sprint, just reading Emma's comment. I am afraid this is under Filipino writing, but everything is accessible. The dialogue in this graphic novel is conversational. Perfect. So we can recommend that to people who aren't that used to the deeper Tagalog. Okay. I was just talking about my overall experience. I'm enjoying my time with King of Scars so far. Yeah, because, like, at least for me, I am also mostly going to be distracted if the book doesn't hook me like in the first 50 or 100 pages. Like I most likely will like just set that aside for later. And with that, we are ready for sprint number 2. And I will see you again after 40 minutes. I hope you get a lot of reading done. I hope I get to read more than 15 pages this time. But let's see each other after 40. Hello again, everyone. How was sprint number 2? So I had to make an annotation on page 61, which is where I stopped. Yes, 64, and I'm on chapter 5 already. So a little over chapter 5, and to keep this non-spoilery, I will just say that it's still going. It's still good. Still good. It's so hard to talk about this without giving too much details because I know people would love to experience this book without any spoilers. So it's still going good. I have tabbed and annotated the shit out of this book already. Like, imagine I'm just on chapter 5 and the amount of annotations that I have already for this book is crazy. Like, there's still so much to unpack, so much to explore. Like, I literally annotate and I'll be like, okay, we have to explore this thought, this sentence later on when we make a review. So, how was everyone else's spread? Let me just check comments. Nor is only reading the physical copy without the audiobook. Random thought. I prefer Moy Moy Lulung Boy more than Janus Silang so far. Okay, let me check this out. Because I haven't heard of this book. Ang Batang Aswang by Segundo E. Matias Jr. Oh, that's such a cute cover. Okay, this is also middle grade and it's also a series. Ooh. Oh, this looks so good. Thank you for recommending this. This looks so interesting and looks right up my alley when it comes to middle grade books. So I will add this to my never ending TBR yet again. Jessica says, I'm a bit late, but I'm enjoying the audiobook. It's a male narrator and there's no singing or gravel in his voice thus far. So I was just talking about this earlier, Jessica. Like, I'm very curious about the audiobook. Like, I literally took note of it. And it's a male narrator, but does it sound like he's 16? Like, is it how you pictured a younger Hamish? Let me know. I'm done with the book, which is Dead Balatas. Gorgeous. Okay. It's good. I love that you enjoyed it. And are you going to be reading another book or are you going to be writing a review for this book? Oh, okay. You just answered my question. Next is Insect Hag. I decided to have Know My Name as my last book since I'm also listening to music while reading. Well, kind of makes sense because Insect Hag is a pretty short book versus Know My Name. It's a very serious and triggering book, and you really have to focus on reading Know My Name, to just give the book justice. It needs your 100% of attention. I feel you have no one to talk about this with at the moment. I'm trying to chat about everything. Well, you know what, Jessica? Hit me up. Hit me up on Instagram or whatever. I'm on Instagram. So it's my socials is now down below because I also do not know another friend or someone from within my bookish community who is currently reading Sunrise and the Reaping because honestly, currently it's so in demand. The book, the copy of the book is so in demand that it's so hard to get a copy. I had to call a lot of bookstores, a lot of branches of Fully Booked, which is a local bookstore here in the Philippines. I called, I think, a minimum of 10 or 11 just to see which one was holding a stock of the book, and there was one which was the last copy, and I was like, you know what, reserve it. I need it, and I got it. I think I just didn't pre-order it months ago because like it was so pricey, and I was like, I was gifted a gift card, so I was like, perfect. I didn't have to shell out money for this, and I was like, oh, I need to talk to someone about this. Like the parallels. I'm not even gonna talk about the parallels, but it's there. It's very much there, and I think if you remember the details from the earlier books, you would feel nostalgic about it. Like, oh, I remember this surname. Oof, I remember this name. I remember this part of District 12, and like things that are mentioned, that even Everdeen was mentioned here. So, spoiler alert, Everdeen was mentioned here, but it's just so nice to read about like very familiar names or events that happened in the Hunger Games. I read 10 pages but got distracted again. Oops. You know what? As long as you were still able to read more, that's all that matters. Like, honestly, 10 pages is still not bad. He sounds like he's in his late teens or early 20s and has a very clear, smooth voice, but it's believable that it could turn into Hamish's voice as it was in the movies. Okay, as in like Woody Harrelson kind? Because like when I was reading this, like when I read that he refers to his parents as Ma and Pa, I was like, okay, I can clearly picture Woody Harrelson with like his twang when he spoke during the movies, like he was slurring his words or whatever, but that's because he's an alcoholic. But like it's hard to explain. And like the hold on Libby, oh my god, when I checked it the other day, there were like, and it's just one library that I checked out, and girl, so I placed a hold on the audiobook, and even though there are 100 copies in use, wait, was it the audiobook I placed a hold? I was 848th in line. Like, oh my god, it's just so in demand. But let me check if it was the audiobook that I put the hold for. Because, like, I know I'm going to be rereading this on audio. Yeah, I placed a hold on the audio. And, okay, I am 813th in line as of today. But that's just so wild to me. Like, there are 982 people waiting in total out of 100 copies in use. That's so wild to me. And that's just one library. Like the impact. My God. If that makes sense. He's just not been through all the traumas to get this one. This is real. This is real. Oh my gosh. I totally understand this. I'm left behind the hype with the. Oh my gosh. Wait. But have you read? Have you read the series? Because I'm assuming if you know Hamish, you have read the trilogy. Because so far I have not said anything spoilery yet. I think it is missing a bit of Woody's twang. So it makes sense because like Hamish in the Hunger Games trilogy is already way older. Like that's like 25 years more because like it's the 75th Hunger Games that time, right? Or 76. Okay. I know, that's so wild to me. Like, it's just one library. Oh my gosh. But like, I cannot wait to hear about the audiobook. And with that, I am excited to get some more reading done with Sunrise on the Reaping. So, Jessica, are you also reading with us? I know you're at work, right? Are you just dropping in to say some things about Sunrise on the Reaping? But let me know. And I will see you all after 40 minutes because we are doing sprint number 3 And happy reading, everyone! Hello again, everyone. How was spring number 3? That was pretty quick. Like, so far the sprints are going fast for me, or that just means that I'm getting too hooked with Sunrise on the Reaping. That it's too good that I don't want to put it down, and I just want to keep on reading. And I got to page 78. So that's like, I was able to read like 17 pages from the book, and it's getting more on the action packed side of things, and which is good. I'm still very much liking it. Again, I don't want to spoil so much, but just believe that I'm having a great time reading this book, and I'm just excited for more people to read it so I have people to talk about it with. And let me just read through the comments. So so Jessica says I'm dropping in while working, but listening to snippets every time I leave my desk. And Jessica, I did mention that I listened to the sample of the audiobook on Libby because it's available there. And while he does sound older than 16, as it should with the canon of the book, which is he's 16, I do hear the Haymitch, as in the older Haymitch in the Hunger Games books, and I was in shock. I was like, that's so good. Like, that's so good. They did a good job. But again, it's not just accurate with the 16-year-old Haymitch, but they did good. Emma says, I started reading it, as in the Hunger Games. Haven't completed, though I watched the movies. Oh, you've watched all the way to Ballad of Sunbirds and Snakes? Am I to assume? Hi, Claude! So, welcome to the sprints. Are you going to be reading, doing something else? So I have one more sprint after this chat. Good morning, hi there. Although I'm able to get into bed and sleep, happy reading. Although I'm about to get into bed and sleep, happy reading, y'all, and have a great day. Thank you so much. Have a great night. Well, I hope you sleep well. Hi again, Epu. Welcome back to the sprints. You say, I am reading The Stand-In by Lily Chu. I am 50% in. My loan ends tomorrow, so I have to wait 2 weeks before I can finish it. Ooh, are you gonna try to finish it today, or you're gonna have to renew the loan? Is what you mean? Have to wait 2 weeks before I can finish it. Is the hold that long? Like, if you are to put the hold again, stand in Lily Chu. Wait, I spelled that incorrectly. Is it a romance book? Oh, this one. This one. Okay. I have seen this before. It's a contemporary romance book. Enemies to lovers. How are you liking it so far? Oh, Claude is gonna read My Lola's Love Letters by Ines Bautista Yao. And how far are you in the book? How are you liking it so far, Claude? Hi, Kat. Just dropping by to say hi. Still on my way home, and get home safe, Kat. Meeting Tina Claire for plot twist. Have a great reading sprint. Thanks, God. And can't wait to read plot twist. I won't be there for the launch, but I will need to get my hands on a copy of plot twist. The audio works though. What do you think of it? Yeah, it's just, I want to read it with audio now. Like, I don't want to buy the audiobook, but I will just reread it when my hold on Libby comes up. It works though. Like, he sounds like he's in his early 20s, but I can hear the Haymitch. I can hear the Haymitch in the voice. Congrats, Nor. 22 pages is a lot. That's like double of what you read. That's good progress. And how are you liking King of Scars still? Said you were enjoying it. Hi, Gwen! Thank you. Hey, naka-join. It's okay, it's okay. I always do sprints anyway, so you can join anytime when you can. There's no pressure, because like, supposedly my sprints are chill anyway, so could have it as a background, read, do tasks, whatever. Over halfway done. Bought this from Ateneo Press during PBF. Yes, I saw this. And this is the first one I'm reading from my PBF haul. So PBF is the Philippine Book Fest, which I saw Claude's, Emma, and other bookish creators. And congrats that you're getting through your huge PBF haul, because I haven't yet. It's right beside me, but I haven't done my haul yet. I'll be editing stuff. Pause in reading. The words on what I'm reading is no longer sinking in. Sure. Well, editing is still what do you call this? Productive. So you can do that. One person is waiting after me, so I can't renew my loan. We'll get the book after that person after 2 weeks. So are you still gonna read what you can until tomorrow? Until you're are you reading on your Kindle or your phone? Because like there's a trick that we do where if you've already loaded up the book that you borrowed from Libby on your Kindle, you can just not turn on the Wi-Fi until you're done with the book. And your loan is actually, the book is going to go back to the library and be passed down to the next person who borrowed it. So it doesn't really hurt anyone. So just don't turn on the Wi-Fi, like have it on airplane mode and you'd be able to read it. So that's a trick that we do when we read it on our Kindle. Back from my walk and did a bunch of cleanings as we have people coming over later. That's super productive. Love that for you, Vanessa. So excited that you're reading Sunrise. Yes, I am too. Like, it was so hard to get a copy of this book. It's just so in demand. And I was like, I was so tempted to get an ebook copy, but I'm like, I want to hold it in my hands, as in like a physical copy. So I did. Nora says, I'm enjoying it, but there are 3 different POVs, and so far I enjoy one of them the most, and I'm waiting to get another chapter with this POV. Okay, before we get on our 4th and last sprint, just going through some of the comments. And sometimes that happens to me as well, that to the point that it affects my reading experience in a sense that I remember feeling this way in The Way of Kings, because like there was a character there that's my favorite, but the chapters would be divided according to the different characters, like 3 to 4 perspectives, and then I would be like, ugh, not this character again. Why can't I just get to my favorite character's POV? So, but it was still a very good book. Like I still enjoyed the heck out of it, but it sometimes feel that way where, like not annoyed, but more of like, ugh, I have to go through this chapter before I get to my favorite character's POV, if that makes sense. Epo says, I only read the first Hunger Games book, but watched all the movies. Need to read the OG books and then Ballad of Songbirds and Snake before reading the new one. Yes, that should be the way to go. Like, just going through it by release dates. Because, like, I feel like it's best experience that way, because, like, you'd get the parallels from, like, Katniss's experience, and then, like, Snow, and then Haymitch. I had no idea. Yes, I'm reading on my Kindle. Will do that. Thanks for the tip. Yes, that is the best way to go. Like the person who borrowed it, who's like next in line, will still get the hold, and like Libby will automatically what do you call this? Return the loan. So it's technically not gonna be on your Libby shelf anymore, but it would still be on your Kindle as long as you don't turn on the Wi-Fi. You're good to go. And you're gonna be able to finish your book. And with that, maybe we should go to our fourth and last sprint so we can get a lot of reading done. I'm just still so excited to read more from Sunrise. And I will see you all again in 40 minutes. Happy reading! Hello again, friends. How was our fourth and last sprint? I was able to get to chapter 7 of the book, which is specifically page 92. Page 92 of the book. And I may have teary-eyed when I was reading something. I don't want to spoil it, but like we're not even in the games yet, and like I think I keep thinking about how cruel it really is. The whole Hunger Games, the whole fiasco, the whole turning it into an entertainment thing is so hard to like bear for a 16-year-old, let alone a 12-year-old one, because like with Hunger Games the tributes have to be drawn from like 12-year-olds to 18-year-olds, and it's just so cruel. Like I cannot imagine not like going insane or like snapping when if you do experience what is going on so far in the book. Like it's just so heavy to read. This is so heavy to read, but it's so good. It's so good. I cannot rave about this enough. And I shall read through your comments. Yes. Okay, so I did leave a comment where, since this is our last sprint, there is a Booktube Bible of some sort where you can see all of the creators who have live reading sprints in different schedules. And since we were down to our last, you can check out the sheet if you are still up for some live reading sprints or doing some work. You can check out the sheet. Okay, congrats, Louie, for finally finishing Life After Life by Kate Atkinson. I know you've been wanting to finish this book already, and now that you do, now that you have, congrats about that. I'm now reading Hidden Oracle by Rick Riordan. Back to Canva Blood, Percy Jackson World for me since 2021. Is this part of the Rick Riordan Presents, or is it actually written by Rick Riordan? Listening to Enchantra while doing some work. Let me check out this one. Is it a romance book, Vanessa? Because I always assume what you read are like romances or dark romances. Am I correct? It is. I am correct. It's a dark romance book, and it's the second book in the Wicked Games series, which is the sequel to Phantasma. I know you loved Phantasma, and I have been looking at it because of you, and because like it's a famous title in Book Talk, but I've yet to read the book. Managed to finish 15 pages, now 2 chapters away from the end. You'd be able to finish that tonight, for sure. And 50 pages is a lot. Congrats, Claude. I love that for you. Lepu says, I read a little and I am now making microwave. Oh my gosh. Is this the one where you put like a pancake mix or like flour, mix like an egg, put cocoa powder on it, some sugar? Oh my gosh. Because like, and then you pop it in the microwave for like 2 minutes. Because I used to do this as well when I was still in college. But I do use pancake batter, as in like the pancake mix versus like flour. Because like when I tried it with flour, it was so tough, but with pancake mix, it was so soft. And then the satisfaction of like doing that with a mug on like a plate, and then it was like thunk, like the hard thunk of it on like a plate. So satisfying. And then you put like chocolate syrup on it. Oh my gosh, now I need to do this. Hi Kay, thank you for dropping by this print. On page 150 of 500 of King of Scars. That's good progress, Noor. Are you going to continue reading today? Because as mentioned, there are some live sprints ongoing and with other creators as well. Yes, remember to hydrate, have a snack, check the laundry, take your meds, stretch, and show some love to the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you hopefully get notified. Thank you always for the reminder, Kay. Such a hero. Louis says, thanks for tonight. I enjoyed this sprint. Have a wonderful evening and rest of your week. And you too, Louis. Thanks for always dropping by. And I'm always a lovely time to have you here. And congrats on finally finishing Life After Life. It's book 2 of Phantasma. I got an advanced listener's copy. Is this via NetGalley? By the way, speaking of Hidden Oracle, it was written by Rick. Okay. It's the first book in the Trials of the Apollo series. Ooh! This started during the last break. Okay, I haven't checked my Instagram yet. It's that one. It's that series. Okay. Trials of the Apollo series is familiar to me. I think it's one of the earlier series as well. Like, I don't know if it's earlier than the Magnus Chase series, but it's waking up and got my coffee. Good for you. Hope you also get something with your coffee, like a pastry of some sort. Still here just listening to you. There's I created 2 pub mats. Congrats. Still so productive. Love that for you. And you were able to finish a book tonight. And then you're also being productive after that. Love that for you. Thanks as well, Jessica. I will reply to your messages on Instagram. I saw you send me a message, and I was just mentioning that I was teary-eyed in one theme, and I think you know which one this is. Because like it's after the whole spectacle of like the chariot thing, whatever, the parade, and then them meeting their mentors. So I need to talk to someone about this, someone who's already reading this. So you came at the perfect time, Jessica. Thank you for streaming. Thank you, Emma, for joining. Yep, NetGalley 3913 summer numbers. I was like, what am I looking at? Yes, I might continue reading for a bit. I actually want to get to the half of the book today, but I think this won't happen anymore. Well, it's just the start of your day, so you can still make a dent in your book. And 150 out of 500 is a lot of progress. Thanks for hosting today, Pam. Enjoy your night. Thanks so much, Kay, and thank you to everyone who joined this sprint. I also had a lot of fun. I was over there. Well, 39 minus 13 is 26. I will be your calculator since you typed it in my chat. Thank you, Gui, for dropping by. I hope I can join you again. Weekend wala kasing work. True. That's also why we do the sprints during weekends, because this is the only time I can actually read. Because unlike the pandemic era, I can still read at home because I don't have to commute to work. I don't have to actually be physically at the office, but like dedicating a weekend just to do some sprints it works in our favor, and we're glad that it works for you too. And speaking of sprints, we won't have a joint sprint this weekend, like tomorrow, which is Sunday our time. We won't have a joint sprint with Pam. That's why I did my solo sprints tonight, because she has her family over. She's gonna be preoccupied. She's gonna be busy. So next week, she's going to be hosting the joint sprints on her account, which is This Book Belongs to Pam. And I'm thinking of doing some solo sprints if I can before that. and because like I miss doing solo spreads as well. So make sure to follow us on Instagram because that's where we mostly announce our spreads. And just gonna read a few more. Thanks for the spread. Thanks, Nora, for joining. If you still want to join some spreads, again, the spreadsheet is linked down below. Just finish reading Bridge of Clay. This sprint is indeed productive. I love that. I love that for you. And if you're gonna continue reading, I hope you make more progress with your book. And I hope you all have a lovely day, lovely night. And I'll see you on our next sprints. Bye, everyone.